hang on, then I got to share myself.
Maggie's just recording. You can see it up on the screen. Okay, so okay. Okay. Okay, for sure. No, it doesn't cost me anything. Doesn't cost me anything. No. Okay, so I met Maggie well over a year ago, and prior to that, I did have an injury at work, pulling a patient, lower SI joint. So with the knee that I've had issues with since I was 12 after surgery, and then with the hip and the SI joints, now my ankle has gotten a lot worse because of my whole right side. But with saying that, long story short, I'm not on any meds at all. I'm not on any injections. I'm not on any anti-inflammatories. The last doctor I saw wrote a Toradol prescription, anti-inflammatory prescription, and an injection prescription, which I didn't take. So all I started doing differently was the water, the shoe insoles, and eventually started adding different things like the knee brace and the duct tape, which is just like an amazing product. But the one thing that really struck me was quite recently, I did have an appointment with Dr. Ho in Vancouver, who's the leading specialist for skincare oncology. And because I did have 2 bouts with the chemo cream on my nose, and I expected some more chemo cream. So when he actually checked my whole body out, he said I was fine. But when he looked at the nose, he said, no, we'll just have to liquid nitrogen it, and you have clean, good skin underneath it. And he said, what are you doing differently? And I said, the only thing I can think of is I'm drinking alkaline water. And he said, don't stop drinking it. So he did do the freezing thing on it, like with the liquid nitrogen, and it fell off in a week, and I have pink skin. I have clean, it's not itchy, nothing. I have no pre-CA there at all. It's gone. So anyhow, so I did, continuing on with Nikken and helping other people along the way, but I'll just start passing it over to Maggie so she can just start on the slideshow. And I can put the phone down so you can just take a watch, Rochelle, and see what you think. Okay.
Okay.
Thanks. She said, I love your story and you rock. And I said, thanks.
That's great. Well, welcome. And, I'm so glad that Stacy is on the team, because Stacy is on fire. She's had some great experiences herself. She's shared these products with enough people so that she's confident that the products make a huge difference. And those of us who really understand that the body has the ability to heal itself really benefit from this presentation, because that's what it's about. Nikken, as it says on the screen, is the most advanced self-care company in the world. We're not a medical company, but we are here to help people have the best environment for their bodies to basically heal themselves. And the way Nikken has done it, we'll show you as we go through the slide presentation here. I've been involved for 21 years, and when I was introduced 21 years ago, it was by a really dear friend, just like you're being introduced by Stacy, because my friend knew that I had had chronic pain for 30 years, and it ran my life. I had spent thousands of dollars and thousands of hours looking for relief, and I wasn't able to find any relief. I just kept going from place to place, get a little bit of relief, and then everything would just go back to the way it was. So I decided that I was going to keep looking, and my friend came across this technology as a healthcare professional when she was working at Children's Hospital in Vancouver here. So I came down to Vancouver to meet with her, and I was introduced to this concept by, at that time, Nikken was 21 years old. Now it's 41 years old. And what I saw was just it made more sense than anything I had ever seen in my life. It was just amazing. What Nikken has done is they've replicated nature to put our bodies in the environment that it needs to be at its best performance for recovery from stress, for deep restorative sleep, for the ability for the body to get better faster if you have an injury, and just all around prevention, which is a pretty new concept to most North Americans. So when I saw this and I was introduced to the products by my friend, I was astounded. But the thing that really struck me was the philosophy that Nikken was founded on 41 years ago, and it still absolutely runs the company's life now and our lives. So we have a philosophy called the 5 pillars of health, and you can see them on the screen here. And we always ask people, you know, how are you doing in each of these? If you look at mind, body, family, society, finances, what stands out for you? Is there an area that you would like to improve? Because that's what we can help you do. We can help you improve those, any one of those areas, because Nikken is a full wellness company. And we know, I mean, I travel all over the world, and no matter where I am, it's the same story. People want to feel better. They want to have happier lives. They want to live a long and healthy life. But a lot of people are searching. They don't know how to do that. They've got bits of information. You know, in North America, it's mostly exercise and nutrition is what we hear about in terms of improving our health. But Nikken has way more than that, because those are great, but they're not enough. So let's look at some of the other aspects about what is involved in the Nikken choice, because this is a pathway to a life in balance in all 5 pillars. And I'll tell you, now that I am 21 years into this, you know, I've been pain-free for 21 years now. It took a couple of months because my body had been suffering for 30 years. So I thought, that's not a bad trade-off, 3 months for 30 years. And so I've been passionate about sharing with other people, because to just be a customer would have been fine, but that would have meant that I wasn't able to have the reach that I've been able to have. Didn't know how to do it. I just knew I wanted to do it because this was a worthy project. It's a worldwide movement that we have towards helping people have a better life, and that excites me. The products excite me, but more than that is this active wellness movement that we're part of. And I'm just trying to get my screen to go forward. Oh, there we go. Okay. Whoops. Now I've got to get it to go back. Okay. So the most valuable asset that we have basically is a healthy body. I mean, the healthy mind is really, really important, but if we don't have our health, we really don't have much. And I'm sure you've met people whose health has been compromised, and it changes everything. Now, the world has really changed since I was a kid. I'm a lot older than you gals, but when I grew up, we just weren't so overloaded with environmental toxins, and the body burden that is stressing young children coming into the world have over 200 chemicals coursing through their body the minute they come out of the chute. And then it's compounded by everything that's added to them in different aspects, not just the air, but the water, the food, and so on. And that's all contributing to this huge burst of you know, autoimmune mostly, but chronic illnesses that have to do with the body being overburdened. So these are some stats that I find absolutely appalling. You know, there's over 80,000 chemicals used in the U.S. I don't have the Canadian stats, but it's probably just about the same. And they haven't been tested. Fewer than 500 of them even have had tests. So every day, 42 billion pounds of chemicals are produced or imported into the United States. So even if you take a 10%, because we're a tenth of the population, that's a lot. And we don't know what most of them are capable of doing. You've probably just heard about, well, we've known that lead is a neurotoxin, but the lead in the water in Flint, Michigan, it's not just the lead in the water in Flint, Michigan. Every water system now is compromised because of all of the chemicals that have been poured into the ground and, you know, down the toilet and so on. So we have a lot of these, and you know, the rise in cancer is one of the things that we see, because there are 72 million pounds of recognized carcinogens in our environment now.
We have Miranda that just joined us. I don't know if Miranda can hear us. Can you hear us, Miranda?
We can see 1/8 of your face, Miranda, but we can't hear you. Can you say something so we can see if we can hear you? Nope, I don't think she can hear us either. Anyway, we'll have to carry on here. So 93% of us have a lot of BPAs, that's just one chemical, in our bodies, and that's not getting better. So if you look at what is body burden, it's all the accumulation of these chemical toxins in the human body. And so it's a collective number of all of the things from food, air, water, everything around us, pesticides in the air, really poor eating habits, and so on. And we don't know what's in our body unless we have the money to go and have it all tested. But suffice it to say that there's too much, and this is what's happening. If you look at this list of diseases, 100 years ago, most of these weren't even around. 100 years ago, most people were only concerned about infectious diseases. And we've done a pretty good job of dealing with that, but we have not done a very good job of dealing with these chronic diseases that are becoming rampant in North America and other parts of the world as well. So you look at that and you say, oh yeah, I know somebody with that. Oh, I know somebody with that. And gosh, my brother died of that, and whatever. So it's becoming more and more obvious that if we keep going the way we're going, we're going to keep getting more stressed and more problems with chronic diseases. And in the States, half of all adults have one or more chronic health conditions. Now, Stacy, as a nurse, did you see this in Canada as well?
What's that story? Half of adults have one or more chronic health conditions?
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, no, absolutely. Absolutely. If not more.
Right. And 1 in 4 have 2 or more. So you get that compounding effect. They've got one autoimmune disorder and then another one pops up. I had a friend when I first got introduced to Nikken. She had asthma. She had sleep apnea. She had arthritis. She had fibromyalgia, chronic fatigue. It just went on and on. And when she showed me the package of medicine she was taking every day for those conditions, and she wasn't getting better, she was getting worse. So I said, you have nothing to lose. All this is a healthy environment so your body can do a better job of bringing you back to a better sense of health. Within, I don't know how many months, a couple of months, she was on no medications. Her teenage daughter actually said, Mom, you're finally nice to be around. Because, when we're really out of balance, we're usually pretty grumpy. So her change was just phenomenal. She still had those diagnoses in the doctor's pad when she went to the doctor, but she wasn't having any of the symptoms anymore. So she didn't care if the doctor still thought she had those. She was concerned with the fact that she wasn't having any of the problems with sleep and breathing and pain in all her joints. So, and then we look at what the cost of treating chronic disease is, and it's getting higher and higher. And as the baby boomers age, that's going to become unbearable. So we need to look for a solution, and that's what Nikken is all about. We're looking at self-care. The doctors, do a really good job looking after us when we're sick. They do the best they can. They're really good at acute problems, like if you break a leg, you want to go to the doctor. But our track record for working with and helping people with chronic illness is poor. But if we can start to take the responsibility, as it says, we're healthy by choice, not by chance. If we can involve ourselves in an active process, and this is the definition by the National Wellness Institute, if we can involve ourselves in a plan or a process that makes us aware of and that we make choices that are taking us towards a more successful existence, in other words, a healthier existence, that's what we can do. And we are here as consultants to give people a roadmap on how to do that. So if we look at what are the good, I'm just going to mute here because I'm getting some background noise. What are the elements of good health? Well, first of all, we need to understand what the body needs, and it's pretty simple. It needs what Mother Nature gave us: clean air, water, sleep, good sleep, nutrition, full spectrum light, and so on. And then we need to reduce the body burden of toxic chemicals by taking those contaminants out of our environment. And, it's not that simple unless you have the vehicle to do it. So this is Nikken's solution for the last 41 years. They're a research and development company that started in Japan in 1975. We're in over 20 countries, and most people have never heard of us. You go down, you say, ever heard of Nikken? People say, no, what's that, the camera company? No. But we have still built successfully for 41 years. We have billions of worldwide sales, billions of dollars in worldwide sales, millions of satisfied customers. And one thing we can say that no pharmaceutical company can say is no one has ever been harmed by a Nikken product. Pretty cool. So Western medicine and pharmaceuticals they study disease, and that's important. But we have looked at health for 40 plus years and spent millions of dollars in research to help people have a healthier environment. So that, not just in the body pillar, but also mind, family, society, and so let's just start with protecting our environment, because our environment absolutely governs how our bodies function. So scientific research with Nikken built, and the feedback is lives are changed, people get healthier. So it's science that replicates nature. Okay, it's just a pretty simple process of looking at what did Mother Nature give us that we're not getting. So let's look at what's inside a wellness home. Now, wellness home is a big concept, but within that there are a lot of products, and we have some of them on the screen here. One of the first things is looking at what is in your air. And, I don't know if any of you have ever studied what the EPA says about this and that in the air, but we really do have a lot of things in our air that are not good for us. So Nikken has a clean and fresh air system. It not only takes out all the contaminants, it's got all kinds of certifications, but it re-energizes the air, makes it like mountain air. That's why people like to go into the mountains, makes it like the water or the air down by the water. The next area is clean, fresh water. And we go beyond that. It's not just clean, filtered, highly filtered, but it's also ionized, and it's alkaline, it's magnetized, it's structured water. So our cells go, oh my gosh, I love this. And some of you have had a chance to drink that water. It's truly divine. A lot of people forget about the shower water. I'm pointing here at the shower system. We have two different shower systems, and it has made a huge difference. I was just on a conference call with a gal from Washington State, and she said that she used to hate having a shower because her skin would just get really red and it would hurt. Since she's had the shower system, she gets in there, it feels good, she gets out, her face is not all red, she's not all scabby. So people who have more of an issue will notice more of a change, right? If you've already got healthy skin, you may not have any symptoms that you can identify that have changed right away. But just hearing her story, we know that this is better water for her. So she has the same skin as we do, so it's better for us as well. Natural lighting is something that we don't have in most of our homes. This light, and I've got one on right in front of me here, is full spectrum light. It's like being in sunlight. I used to have to use reading glasses. I don't need to use any glasses when I'm reading with that light, which is really lovely. We have a vast whole food organic nutrition program, everything from a daily greens here to a meal replacement. I love this 10-4 when I was traveling. I had some, need to be alert for more hours than, the sleep that I'd had would help me to do. I took one of these and I was able to, after being awake for 24 hours, drive safely and with focus for 8 hours. So this 10-4 is an amazing supplement for energy. I'm not going to go into all the nutrition because everybody has different needs. You can talk with Stacy and me. We could do just a webinar on the nutrition. And in nutrition, our skin is our largest organ. We have this amazing certified organic skincare from France, EcoCert, which is a very high certification. I love this. I have very sensitive skin. I just absolutely love this skincare because I know my skin is not getting any of the toxins that are going to be damaging to my skin. Our hugest area of research at the beginning of the 41 years was with magnetics. We've expanded that to include the energy of the sun. It's called far infrared, and the energy of energized air called negative ions. So there's a huge area here, and when you go into the website, you'll see all of that. And then quality sleep. I think that this has made the biggest difference in my life, is the quality sleep, because I sleep in a Nikken sleep system that totally makes sure that I'm getting the deepest, most restorative sleep. In that is all three technologies. It's like I'm in nature, but I'm comfortable. I'm indoors, I'm the right temperature, and so on. And there's lots to tell you about the sleep system, but we don't have time on this call for all the details in that. So just suffice it to say that Nikken is the only wellness company that covers total wellness, all these areas. There are some great companies out there who have pieces of this, but nobody has all of it, and nobody has developed a system over 41 years where all of these products work synergistically together to give us the best environment so that our body has the healthiest chance to stay well and recover. So let's just look at the body burden again for a minute. If you look at this line, I'm just going to see if I can get my annotated thing to, where is it here? There it is. Okay, so, oops. Having a hard time getting this to be the spotlight that I want here. Okay, so if you look at this red line, anything above here is the body burden line, and that's as we become more toxic. So we want to keep our body below the line, and our goal with Nikken is to create an environment that keeps you below that line. And if you've become more toxic before Nikken, or if you've had, a situation where you may have had a bit of a body burden, we'll bring you back below that line. So help you deal with the effects from the toxic environment that we live in. Because we can't control anything out there, but we can control what we do. So you can partner with Nikken and create a wellness home that protects not just you, but the people that you love.
Maggie, can I ask you a question, just
Sure.
so that everyone can hear, especially because Miranda's actually off. She can still hear what we're talking about, but one thing that she was interested in was the whole kind of what we're actually seeing now with the effects with cell phones, with Wi-Fi, with computers, and what that does to our bodies. And they're actually just starting to find out 20 years down the road from now with cell phone use, what that's doing. So what does the Nikken do to help kind of protect ourselves from all that Wi-Fi that's cruising around everywhere we are?
Right, exactly. What it does is it makes the body strong, okay? And if you've seen it at one of our demonstrations with the insoles or whatever, your body, if you want to call it the chi energy of the body, gets in alignment so that no matter what's coming at us, no matter whether it's somebody with a sneezing cough walking by and throwing toxins into the air, or whether it's Wi-Fi or cell phone, microwave, it doesn't matter. When your body is strong, it has resistance. It's able to resist being depressed by that stressor, okay? So we have people hold their cell phone and then we'll do a muscle test with one arm, and they're very weak, but we put them on the insoles, or we have some of the other products on them, and they've got resistance. They're strong. So their body is able to resist the negative frequencies that cell phones, etc., are putting into the air. Does that make sense? Okay. So yeah, it's a prophylactic. It's a way of staying safe. So not only does Nikken have all of these wonderful products, but they have endorsements from so many major companies and organizations like Water Quality. This one here is from the British Allergy Association. All of our products have a low impact on the environment. We've got all these different organizations. This is the Magnetic Science Foundation of Japan and so on. But our proudest one is our partnership with Healthy Child, Healthy World. These guys are on the same track as we are. They don't have any products, but they're an educational arm because their daughter died of environmental cancer when she was about 5 years old. So the parents decided that they were going to start a movement that educated people about how to prevent that, because no child should ever die from the environment poisoning them, right? So we are now a trusted partner with them because they look at our wellness home as the answer for families and individuals to prevent that kind of tragedy. So that's a very awesome partnership that we have there. And you need to ask yourself, if I don't act on this information, if I don't do anything, life will go on the way it is. And, you may avoid a lot of things, but you aren't protecting your body in the best way. So if you look at the Nikken choices, it's pretty straightforward. You can become a customer. It's free to do that. You become a VIP customer. You get all kinds of advantages. You also get lots of education on this whole self-care movement and direct ability to just go onto your own website, order your products. No fuss, no muss. But if you don't want to order them, Stacy will order them for you. We're really into customer service. And as soon as there are new products, which there are 2 or 3 times a year, you'll be the first to know. and you'll be the first to know about any special offers that Nikken has. The other option, if you don't want to go through that step, is you can just purchase directly from Stacy. You can just say, Stacy, can you order me a pair of insoles? Stacy, can you order me this? And she's very happy to do that. Just you'd have to give her your credit card, mind you, and your shipping address, but she's happy to set that up for you. So, and if you know of any other people, as we're talking here, I'm sure you can think of people who've had chronic pain like I have, or issues like Stacy has, or anybody that we talk to who is out of balance and has been using these products has a story that is really, really powerful. So you might think of some people who could benefit from these. So you can give those referrals to Stacy and we'll help them, or you can decide to be part of this worldwide movement of self-care revolution to help other people have what we have. So it's totally up to you with no pressure. It's just an offer that you can become a consultant with us if you like and purchase your products that way. So, I would suggest that you start being a customer first. And if you decide that, you want to share this with other people, you can upgrade to the consultant membership very easily. So this is what we're all about. We want to help people. Most people, I think that's an inbuilt instinct. How can I help other people? How can I, be my very best and help other people do the same? Our tagline is actually humans being more, because Mr. Masuda, who started this company 41 years ago, felt that on those 5 pillars of health, each person becomes more of the potential that they have as a human being. So when you've got your healthy body and your healthy finances in place, you can do a lot more for other people because you have access to time with your family, and you're not grumpy because you're feeling great. You can then give more to society, and all of that contributes to having a good attitude and a healthy mind. When I was teaching full-time as a professor and hurting all the time, I still got my paycheck. However, a lot of that was spent going out and trying to find solutions. I know that my family wasn't getting the best of me because I would come home after work and I'd be exhausted. And then I was a hospice volunteer, but I really was limited in how much time I could spend because I had a job, and almost how much energy I had to sit with dying patients, right? And all of that was affecting my attitude, my mindset. And Stacy, you want to just say a little bit about how these 5 pillars have impacted your life and how being with Nikken has changed some of that?
Yeah, absolutely. I think the healthy mind is absolutely number one, because if you don't have a healthy mind, you can't work on anything else. So with that and the healthy body, definitely, I think I can't remember what the percentage was in the United States of people with chronic pain, and that puts a strain on everything from your family to finances to your mind. So when everything is in alignment, and especially with all of these technologies that I personally use, makes me feel better. Like I have a jump in my day. Today when I was giving blood downtown Vancouver, I give, I think, every 56 days, boom, it was like all of a sudden, feeling, even after giving a pint, which took only 5 minutes and 40 seconds, it came out. So that was like the quickest I've ever had it done. It was quiet in there. So there was our 7 RNs and phlebotomists. So we started talking about alkaline water. I showed them the need, so it just kind of came out very organically, and right away they ran to their computers and they're like, we've been in the industry for X amount of years. Why have we never heard of this? And so, with having said that, all of the combined that Nikken, and I've done a lot of research in order to get back into a career, and there's no company in the world like this. This is it. It has everything housed underneath one solid roof, right? And it's unreal. The people that I've personally helped out with their decision on using a lot of the technologies, it's incredible. Everything from stopping migraines to the feet aren't sore, lower back isn't sore anymore. My partner Scott swears by the water after it took him almost 8 months to start drinking it. He calls it Stacy's magic water. But yeah, so anyway, back to Maggie.
I'm just, I didn't know what to expect. 21 years ago, I literally just wanted to feel better. but I also wanted to help other people. So I'm really glad that I embraced all 5 pillars, became a consultant, and learned as I went along. And I was not expecting that within 3 years I was going to be able to walk away from my, my tenured position as a professor and do this full time. That wasn't even on my radar. I thought I had a great job, and I did. But what I realized after 3 years of doing this part-time was, this is what I want to do the rest of my life. This is how I want to be in the world. This is how I want to make a difference in the world. So I walked away from all of that quote-unquote security, etc., and I've been doing this as a full-time career since then. I love every minute of it. I love the people. I love the products. I love the opportunity to expand my mind. A bunch of us are going down to Orlando, Florida in April for a fairly large convention there. And, I get to hang out with these really cool people. It's like a healthy family reunion. I love it. So it's all about, you seeing what you might want here. It's totally up to you. You have lots of choices. You can, as I said, connect as a customer and start on your active wellness path yourself. And if that's all you want to do, that's great. We'll support you 100%. Some people just want to earn a couple of $100 more a month, and we can help you do that as a part-time entrepreneur. That's how I started. And then it just became abundantly clear to me that this was a great career, so I decided to embrace it full-time. Those are the options. And I never had to do any of it alone. I have had the most amazing mentoring and support all the way through, and will continue to have that as I build my business more and more, expand into more countries and so on. So all of the coaching and the training and all the things that if I had a traditional business, I would have to pay big bucks for, I have basically free with this business. There's so much power in this international business and the way to, help other people get their dreams. So it's really, a chance to say, yes, I want to begin how you want, and we'll help you do that. So it's to me, it's such common sense that I can't not see it, but I remember 21 years ago, I didn't get it. So if you're feeling a little bit puzzled, that's okay. I'm just going to look at the questions here. Any questions that have come up? No, I don't see any.
Rochelle, give me a thumbs up if you can still hear. And Miranda's, I think she can still hear. I think for me, if I can interject with this, is that one thing that I notice a huge trend, especially working in the healthcare community, is that anytime someone has any ailment, they'll run to the doctor. The doctor's going to fix me. The doctor's going to, he'll heal me. And physicians are there for surgery. Physicians are there for acute. And yeah, sometimes chronic, but overall, and I don't know if Maggie can touch base on this, I have every single female in my family, including myself, have fibromyalgia. Every single one. I've never been the person to admit that I have it. I just lived with it. And, from arthritis to, you just keep going on and on and on. And it's like these technologies are presented to you so that you can actually take away your pain. You can take away your inflammation. You can feel better. You can sleep better. And you have to have that restorative sleep. Mm-hmm. I slept overnight at my girlfriend Loa's last night, and she actually I think she slept maybe 2 hours. And I'm thinking, Loa, you got to get on something. Mm-hmm. Because it's not, you don't run to the Ativan. You don't run to, some people run to the pot, whatever they do in the West Coast. But I think you were saying, Maggie, that fibromyalgia in Japanese is translated as lack of magnetics.
Yeah, well, there was a huge study done in the 70s because they were noticing that a lot, especially women, were coming in from the countryside and working in high rises, and they were starting to get problems with sleep. They were starting to get muscle and joint tenderness and pain. And so they studied it from the Eastern perspective of energy. And what the conclusion was after this long-term study was that these people were suffering from magnetic deficiency syndrome. They treated them with magnets and they got better. That same disease here in North America is called fibromyalgia, but it's the same thing. So we've helped
so many women, more women than men for whatever reason. A lot of men do have it, but so many people are off work because of it. And I'm not too sure if Miranda can hear or if she can send a message. How do you?
Just in the chat box, at the bottom of the screen.
How do you use some of the magnets? Would they work for MS? Absolutely, Miranda. I was been thinking about not just some family members you have, but other friends as well, with testimonies in regards to MS. I'll let Maggie answer that, but I will say, Shane and Rochelle, you guys can still hear me, right? When I was in San Antonio in October with Maggie and a bunch of other people from all over the world, because I wanted more questions. I spent my own money and flew down there because I wanted to see more. I mean, I was already experiencing, but I wanted to talk to more people. And I remember specifically, and it was kind of a pivotal moment for me, Maggie will attest to this, sitting in the front row, and a gentleman got up, and there was 1,000 people. I can't remember. There was a lot of people in that room. And a gentleman got up with cerebral palsy. And the first thing that he said was, "Hi, my name is so-and-so. I was born with cerebral palsy." And I looked across the room, and the only thing I could think of is, why is he not in a wheelchair? Why is he standing? Because I used to turn patients like him in Vancouver. And the more he got talking about, he was only on these, all the technologies really, for 6 years. He's not walking with a cane. He doesn't have a walker. He's not in a wheelchair. And it's just, I'm thinking, how is this possible? So to me, it says more. Same with the woman with dementia, who was completely bedridden. And I used to turn people with dementia. And here she was after a month with the hydration, with the alkaline, with the air, with the sleep she's up walking 30 days later at the fridge asking what's for dinner. And it's like, what the heck? So if you can answer for Miranda regarding MS, that seems to be another big illness, disease that is quite widespread here.
Well, all of these are, and we can't, nor do we want to make any medical claims. The bottom line, Stacey, is that if you put the body in the right environment, it will heal itself. If you found an orchid that was trying to grow on the side of the highway in Manitoba, you would notice it's not doing very well. The environment has really messed it up. So you take that orchid and you put it in the ideal environment for that orchid. You give it the right sunshine, you give it the right food, you give it the right, earth, you give it the right nutrition, all of those things, the right temperature, and it survives, it thrives now. Our bodies are the same. They're a system that needs air, water, sleep, nutrition, and full spectrum light.
Yes.
So when you put an animal or a human being or a plant in that ideal greenhouse, if you like, it heals itself. It becomes strong. It becomes able to resist disease and to recover from disease. In Japan, they don't say you have this or that. They're usually their statement will be your chi is out of balance. So let's get your chi back in balance. Let's get you in an environment so that your body is working better. So yes, we've had people with horrible chronic illnesses who've gotten better. We don't say that the magnets did any of that. The body did it, but the magnets and all the other things supplied the environment for the body to do its best work. Okay?
Right.
We've got story after story after story. One woman I know, I have pictures of her, she was told to write her will. Her list of, I read the list, I think it was 21 autoimmune disorders that she was diagnosed with. The doctor said, we can't do anything more for you. The pills we're giving you are going to kill you. They basically told her that. Make your will, you're going to die. Somebody said to her, you have nothing to lose, Gloria. Get a wellness home. She got a wellness home, and I think it was 6 months later, she had another picture taken, and she was free of all the symptoms of all of these diseases that the doctors couldn't do anything about. And it's not their fault. They are not trained in Eastern principles. They are not trained about energy. So that's where we come in, because we can meet that need, that huge need in our society for people who just, they're desperate. They're desperate. A friend of mine in Toronto, MS, she was in a wheelchair. She was going to be fitted for an electric scooter. And somebody came along and said, Lillian, you got to try this. She said, snake oil, get out of here. She was so tired of being offered this and that, and nothing had worked. Her husband, however, said to himself, we're just going to get this wellness home. It can't hurt us, and it might help. You should see her now. She's been in the business 18 years, I think. So she's 18 years older. She's not in a wheelchair. She got out of that wheelchair very quickly. She got off all her meds, and she's been traveling around the world as a wellness consultant at the top level in our company because the products work. Okay?
And that's with MS. And it's funny because I had just asked Maggie the other day to send me information regarding MS and Parkinson's, and started reading up more. Because especially with Parkinson's, when you're older, it does turn into a dementia. And I do have some friends with parents that have just recently been diagnosed with Parkinson's. But when I see people that do have these illnesses, I mean, OA will not kill me, but the pain's gone. I'm a lot more functional.
Mm-hmm.
And so with the people that I've met, I mean, it's not even being convinced. It's just like living it, feeling it, and then going, wow, this is just incredible. And especially with the skin pre-cancer on my face and it just literally disappearing. It's like, okay, there's something more to this.
Absolutely.
So, and that's where my heart is. And
yeah.
A lot of my heart is in with this company. And now I'm starting to work with a doctor in Vancouver who is keep thinking he's a chiropractor. He works with the UBC track and field team, and he's done so much research, and he's hopping on board because he sees there's a need. There's a need in, if you're human, there's a need for this. Mm-hmm. But I see how in different areas, like within illness, within athletics, within people in IT, you know, like there's specifics for every individual. So I'm not going to shut up about it ever. I'll keep on educating and learning.
Yeah, and some people aren't ready to hear it, and that's okay. We're not here to convince people. We're here to share something really precious and valuable that changes lives. And we are not in charge of people's decisions. All we ask people is to stay open, become a customer, get the products on yourself and people you love, and then take the next step if you want.
Mm-hmm. And that's that. Crane Carson have some products, and actually today the Carson's magnetic and infrared insoles came in, and as well as a whole 7 rolls of duct tape. I'm so excited. Yeah. So, and you know, I have the water, I have the sleep, and I don't know, I'm feeling pretty good. Going for a bike ride tomorrow around the seawall, 22 kilometers. So, you know, and there's no way I could have done this before. There's none. Like a big fat 0, and 0 medication, not even Tylenol, no Advil, not even ice.
Yeah.
So that's that in a nutshell.
I think we probably said enough. We get a little excited, Stace, so maybe we should just they've got.
Do you guys have any more questions? And if not, just let me know. And other than that, just okay. Yeah, for sure. Just call me whenever. And look at Miranda just had a beautiful little baby girl.
Oh.
I only think she's only 3 weeks old. I'm not sure. I don't know if Miranda can still hear us, but so she's busy with baby.
Oh, there she is. Oh, there's baby. Oh, isn't she?
Wow. What a sweetheart.
It's Ariana's her name.
Ariana.
Oh, there you are. Ariana. Oh my gosh. I haven't seen, well, I see you on Facebook, but I never ever get to talk to you. Congratulations, Mama.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Thanks so much for inviting me on this. It's pretty cool.
Miranda's the one that sent the information regarding the Wi-Fi, because now doctors, chemists, physicists, they're all starting to talk about what it's doing to our body. So she posted something on Facebook that I reposted. Mm-hmm. And I think so when I had read the whole dialogue, it's very interesting dialogue, because everything that Nikken is doing is actually countering what Wi-Fi and everything else, all of our technology, it's countering and protecting us from this.
Change your environment, change your life. You're not going to give up your cell phones or any of that. And we don't need to, because we can have the body in an environment that it has a resistance to being taken down by that.
Yeah, exactly.
Cool.
Exactly.
Okay, folks. Well, thank you so much.
Thanks for tuning in.
Yes.
Yeah, thank you very much, Maggie, for doing all your slideshows, and have fun with baby. I can't wait to watch her grow on Facebook.
Yeah, that's great.
We'll talk to you, ladies.
You guys. Good night, everybody.
Good night. Thank you.